A very good evening. You're watching the explosive weekend debate with me, Kritsween Walia. Well, viewers, it was on the 25th of this month that Hindu priest Chinmay Krishna was arrested in Bangladesh on charges of sedition, though the whole minority community was up in arms with the interim Bangladesh government over the arrest and termed it an attack on freedom of expression. And since we've not just seen an increase in attacks against minorities and their places of worship in the neighboring country, but also more arrests of those practicing the Hindu faith. At a time that ISKCON claims more priests have been arrested by Bangladesh police, a worldwide prayer call was given by ISKCON. Today, prayers were held at over 700 ISKCON centers worldwide to emphasize the need to ensure safety for religious minorities. So yes, viewers, the anger is most certainly mounting, and the Hindu community in Bangladesh is pointing towards stats. They're pointing towards numbers. They talk about the significant decline in the Hindu population, which comprises only around 8% of the total country's population in 2024. In fact, here in India as well, the opposition is attempting to highlight the centre's quote-unquote inadequacy in walking the talk on protecting the interests of the Hindu population in Bangladesh. Clearly, the Yunus government has turned a blind eye to all the hate crimes against minorities in the country and is seen hand in glove with the radical Islamists in Bangladesh. We talk about the way forward, but before that, here's what's happened in the last 24 hours.
आज पूरे जो इस्कॉन के भक्त हैं विश्व में, वो लोग अपने आप को बहुत ही असहाय महसूस कर रहे हैं कि हम लोग उनकी मदद नहीं कर सकते हैं।
वहाँ के हिंदुओं को सड़कों पर उतरना चाहिए। सड़कों पर उतर करके सनातन प्रचारकों के साथ जो निर्दयता के साथ, बर्बरता के साथ कानून का उल्लंघन करके जो गिरफ्तारी कर रहे हैं, वो हिंदुत्व के खिलाफ है।
There is a huge information gap in India. Like obviously you are flooded with misinformation. What we can see from here is there is a industrial scale misinformation campaign like originating from India.
Onus is on the union government to take it with the Bangladesh government or the interim government who is doing such atrocities.
Let's quickly open this up with our guest joining us this evening. We have Tuin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, along with Ashok Sajjanhar, former diplomat. Also with us is Salim Samad, Bangladeshi journalist from Dhaka, and political analyst Gargi Nandi Roy completes the panel. Salim Samad, my first question is to you. You're perhaps in the best position to really expose what the Yunus government has been up to. We've been calling out their bluffs, their lies, because the visuals speak 1,000 words. And though the Yunus government, one press release after the other has come out to say we treat the majority and minority alike in the nation, attacks on minority community members, their places of worship, like I said, have only escalated the last 4-5 months. So why these lies when it's for the world to see what's really happening in Dhaka and all of Bangladesh?
Thank you for having me. I'm not a patriot and I'm not a nationalist. I'm an anti-administration. So your question has a lot of gaps. And I'm really surprised that the Indian media doesn't want to understand what is happening in Bangladesh and what was happening before. First of all, you mentioned about 3, 4, 5 months.
You're not a patriot, but that's why I'm asking you. Tell us why this is happening. This government is
only for 3 months. This government is only for 90 days. So you can understand yes, Yunus government should be definitely, it's very unfortunate that whatever is happening, and it was happening for the last, I don't know how many, 35 years. This is very interesting. That had never been a perpetrator been put on the docks in the court. No, not a single. I have been writing, investigating on these issues on the Hindu and the other religions, Ahmadiyya Muslims. So you can understand that what is the ferocity of it. But right now, yes, there are incidents which are happening, which is according to the government always happening. But this has all sparked because one issue that has to be understood by the Indian media, you have allowed Hasina to be in Delhi at a VIP at a guest house, and obviously there is a lot of anger against India. And you have to understand even today, one of the leading diplomats.
How does that, Mr. Samad, has anything to do with the hate crimes against Hindu community members in the country? Are you saying the fact that they stand against Sheikh Hasina and the fact that Sheikh Hasina is India, that frustration is going to be taken out on the minority community in Bangladesh? How are we linking the two, sir?
Yeah, it is not only the Hindus, the other communities has also been attacked. So don't mention about one community. There are other religious communities were also attacked. Even the Ahmadiyya Muslim has been attacked yesterday. It was Friday. So all Fridays they were attacked. All the mosques have been vandalized every Friday.
Is the number of attacks, sir, as much as 2,000 in the last 4 months?
Look, their population is not more than few lakhs. So, but all the mosques are attacked every Friday, all over the year. For the last 35 years, I'm not talking, okay, let's go back to the present issue. It is very unfortunate that this is happening in Bangladesh. One of the legacy is that none of the perpetrators earlier has not been put on for justice. So this is one major issue.
Okay. Ashok Sajjanar, do you think Mr. Samad is giving clear answers? Because I don't think my questions leave any scope for any doubt with regards to what's happening to the minority community. And I do see Gargi Nandi Roy wanting to come in as well. But Gargi, before I come to you, Ashok Sajjanar, it's the easiest to shoot the messenger, and that's what the Yunus government seems to be doing. This is a misinformation campaign by India. When MA comes out with a stern statement, they reject that. It's the most convenient thing to do. It's very difficult to actually answer the questions being raised by a neighbor today.
No, you are very right, Christine. That it's very easy to. That's the easiest way to sort of confront a question. That is to shoot the messenger and say that the media is whatever it's doing, it's exaggeration. But the pictures don't lie, the videos don't lie. You are showing them all. You see what conflagration, what arson, what destruction is taking place. And what Mr. Samad has attempted to do, saying that Ahmadiyyas are also being killed, or they are also being acted against, or there is vandalism against them, or some of the others against the Muslims. That does not absolve them that you are taking action against Hindus and other minorities. When India has been speaking out, Indian media has been speaking, they have been saying that it is all minorities. We are not limiting ourselves only to Hindus. We are saying Christians, the tribals in the Chittagong hill tracts, etc. All of them are being affected by this. And this has no relationship whatsoever. The fact that Sheikh Hasina is in India, meaning if you want her back, please, exercise the extradition. Meaning we have a bilateral extradition treaty with Bangladesh. Meaning why are you sort of, killing the Hindus, saying that, because Sheikh Hasina is there. There are, Mr. Samad, some legal processes and procedures that you have to follow. You just cannot, 5 people cannot get over rooftops and say we want Sheikh Hasina to come back. It doesn't happen that way. In international law, there are certain procedures, certain practices, certain principles you have to follow. There's a bilateral treaty between the two countries. Follow the provisions of the treaties. But coming back to this, what I feel is that what Mr. Muhammad Yunus is saying, that it's exaggeration, etc. It is my understanding, it is my view that Mr. Muhammad Yunus has lost control. He does not have control, because these are people who are Islamists, they are from the Jamaat. These are people who were put in prison earlier because of crimes that they had committed. There was amnesty granted to all of them. Many of them come from ISIS, from Al-Qaeda, some of these organizations, and they are the ones who've been let loose. And some of them have said, we want to
Ashok Sajjanahar, what you're saying is so very well put out in the graphics that we see on our screens right now on the change in tone by the Yunus administration. For instance, on 10th of August 2024, the administration said, are they, while talking about the minorities, are they not the people of this country? Cut to 5th September 2024. This is after the Jamaat was let free. Attacks are political in nature and not communal. So there's a clear shift in their tone also, which is very evident why it's happening. It's for everybody to see. Why is it not being recognized by Mr. Samad, who continues to say that though I'm not a patriot, but sir, what you're saying today seems to be a clear backing of the Yunus government. Gargi, I want to quickly... Okay, Ashok ji, you want to complete?
Yeah, just one comment, because this is trying to rationalize that whatever the situation is, first you say that they are our nationals and we are going to protect them. And then you change the story completely. Whatever is at the ground, you just try to rationalize it. You try to give arguments you yourself are not convinced. Meaning, if you are the head of the administration, it is your responsibility to protect all your people. You just cannot, give an argument that they might be supporters of Awami League or they were supporters of Sheikh Hasina and that is why they are being attacked. That reason is not good enough. These are your own people. It is your responsibility to protect them.
Also, I mean, look at the kind of U-turn that came in no time, from calling ISKCON a religious fundamentalist organization to, then coming out to say that ISKCON need not fear, that they're not going to ban ISKCON. What really explains this kind of mentality? Gargi, you want to quickly make your point? Yes.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, Christine. Christine, its history is again repeating itself. My father, as a small child, had come from Bangladesh during partition. Even my maternal grandfather came, my father-in-law came. So we are feeling the pain because my generation has grown up hearing to this kind of horror story. We did not see 47 or 71, but we are witnessing it now. And as far as Yunus, I first of all think that Nobel Committee should snatch away his peace prize. He cannot get a Nobel for peace. Okay, he has released 144 terrorists from the jail whom Hasina had put behind bars. Why have he released them? He has released them so that they can kill, they have been given supari to kill the Hindus. He has released someone like Jasimuddin Rahmani, somebody like Hafiz Shahid. And what did he threat? He said that they will block chicken neck and separate northeast from rest of India. And he has invited Mamta to be part of the greater Bangladesh. So that kind of thing is happening. And this person who on your show from Bangladesh, he is not able to sit. Yes, we know always there were attacks on Durga Puja and all, but at least Hasina had arrested and took some steps. Not to in this scale. Yes, it is.
And moreover, she didn't leave Jamaat out in the open. Didn't let loose.
She had put behind bars this Ansarul Bangla terrorists. They are affiliated with Al Qaeda and all. All those people have been released. And do you know what they are even sending people to West Bengal? Yesterday, one person was arrested with the military from Rafi Ahmed Kitwai guest house. He is called Salim Matobbar, who is a member of Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Kalega ji has BNP, and that person since last year is in India with a forged passport and an Aadhaar card where his name is Ravi Sharma. So this kind of, they are supplying, even those people are entering India. So it is a call. The government should wake up. We should be very serious about this because it is just a neighboring state. West Bengal is bordering it, and what kind of things we are sending everything to them. ISKCON stood by the country in every calamity, whether it is flood or famine. They stood. Prabhupada supported during 1971
and just
liberation.
Imagine,
and what are they doing?
If ISKCON Kolkata is to be believed, and if another two priests who in fact met with Chinmay Krishna Das on their way back have been arrested, how very dangerous is that really? And Tuhin, that question is being asked to the central government, to the Bharatiya Janata Party, on what really is being done as a responsible neighbor. We need to act, we need to do something so things start heading in the right direction, Tuhin. So what do you make of the overall scenario, and especially back here in India, the kind of politics that is being witnessed with Mehbooba Mufti, who comes out to say that the situation in India is no different. How are minorities not being attacked here? Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Kritsween. Good evening, everybody. Clearly, the Muhammad Yunus dispensation seems to be testing the patience of the world. He's presiding over what is a sordid descent of Bangladesh into, Islamist exclusivism. As far as India is concerned, from day one, we have been monitoring the situation. We have been telling him to make amends. The problem is he has been an enabler first through denialism. In September, he was denying that there is any communal angle to it. Now there is a overt defiance, and that is what makes the situation, very grim. As far as India is concerned, we will continue to mobilize global opinion, global support against such regimes. Now, the point is, as per international conventions, there are certain limitations. We can't directly intervene, because what is happening is inside their country. But yes, we are free to mobilize world opinion and bring it to a point where they feel an economic pinch. And, as far as, I was pretty appalled to hear that my friend from Dhaka say that because Sheikh Hasina is in your country, these would continue, or in a way he was justifying it. In a way, he seems to be giving it out that certain
and Tuin, we are seeking the extradition of so many others, right? People who are in Britain, Canada, United States. If we were to start retaliating in the same manner,
he has only revealed the unfulfilled agenda of the extremists in Bangladesh. They wanted Sheikh Hasina killed. They can't see her alive. That seems to be their only agony. As far as Sheikh Hasina is concerned, obviously in the last 15 years, India has had a great relationship with Bangladesh when she was at the helm of affairs. We extended an $8 billion credit line to Bangladesh. We were the closest developmental partner for Bangladesh, and obviously 25% of the energy sources in Bangladesh come from India. All of that has been damaged and decimated irreparably by the present regime. And sadly and ironically, the person at the helm of affairs is a Nobel Prize winner. So yes, I agree with Gargi ji that the Nobel community needs to take cognizance. It's a global issue, and I think the Nobel community needs to condemn the behavior of this premier.
At least, Tuin, for now, it appears as though the Yunus administration is not quite bothered about economic repercussions of the same. And given the economic situation Bangladesh finds itself in, they really need to look at.
Like I said, in the last 3 months, we have seen them go from denialism to defiance, and that is what is particularly worrisome for the world.
Okay, I also want to take that to Mr. Samad, because a lot of counter questions have been raised with you, sir. So I'll let you respond. I'll come to you, Gargi, but here's what I want Mr. Samad to see. Talking about how Hindus and in fact Indians are being treated in Bangladesh. Let's listen into Sayan Ghosh. He's a young man who visited Bangladesh last week, and here's what he had to go through. Take a look.
আমি নভেম্বর এই মাসের 23 তারিখ বাংলাদেশ গেছিলাম। আমি বাংলাদেশ গেছিলাম আমার একজন পরিচিত বন্ধুর বাড়ি। আর বন্ধু বলল, ভাই আজকে তো ফিরে যাবি, চল একটু ঘুরে আসি বাইরে, তো বাজারে বেরানো। ঠিক ওই সময় তার বাড়ি থেকে কিছুটা দূরেই 5-6 জন মুসলিম যুবক মিলে আমাকে আটক করে। তারা আমাকে জিজ্ঞাসাবাদ করে যে তুমি কোথা থেকে এসছো, কোথায় থাকিস, নাম কি, ধর্ম কি। তো এইসব জিজ্ঞাসাবাদ করে আমি বলি যে আমি ইন্ডিয়ান, আমার ধর্ম এই, আমি তাও তখনই এটা যেই শুনে ইন্ডিয়ান, তারপর হিন্দু, তখন তারা আমাকে টেনে নিয়ে যায় কোনায়। তারপরে ছুরি দিয়ে আমার চোখের উপর চালানোর চেষ্টা হয়, চোখে লাগেনি, সরে গেছিলাম। হ্যাঁ, ওদের তো অস্ত্র ছিল, অস্ত্রতে আঘাত করে আমার এইখানে ছুরি দিয়ে আঘাত করা হয়। প্রাইভেট নার্সিংহোমে যাই, সেখানে বলে আমাদের এখানে হবে না, তোমার সরকারি হাসপাতালগুলোতে, স্বাস্থ্য দপ্তর বলুন বা প্রশাসন বলুন বা পুলিশ বলুন, যেই বলুন, কোনো জায়গা থেকে আমি সহযোগিতা পাইনি। বরঞ্চ উল্টো আমাকে হেনস্থা করে। সকালবেলা ভোরবেলার দিকে আমার বন্ধুর সঙ্গে লুকিয়ে আমি ঢাকা স্টেশনে এসে আমি বাড়ি ফিরে আসি আমাদের ভারতে।
Mr. Salim Samad, how would you respond to this? Harassment, intimidation is all that Hindus are being subjected to in Bangladesh, those visiting from India as well. And you were talking about the fact that Sheikh Hasina is in India, and we've seen how Chinmay Krishna is being held responsible for disrespecting the Bangladesh flag. And while we do understand that, what about the Indian flag? There are so many videos that are doing the rounds on social media on how it's apparently very fashionable to disrespect the Indian flag in Bangladesh.
First of all, I don't buy the conspiracy theories by three of your guests. They have been speaking all nonsense about Bangladesh, all hatred against Bangladesh.
So let's not get
declaring a war against Bangladesh.
Sir, you need to respond with facts. Mr. Salim,
let me
nobody wants to gang up on you, but you need to respond with facts and only facts. Let's not get personal here.
Giving the conspiracy theories. None of them are correct.
So there are non-profit
my mother is
organizations
also had-
in Bangladesh.
my mother
Sir, there are
has
non-profit
come to
organizations,
India,
Mr.
come
Samad,
from
in
India to
Bangladesh that have said
Number
and
one.
published
Number two-
articles saying 2,000 attacks against Hindu community members in the last 4 months. These are not Indian
3 months.
newspapers or Indian
3
researchers.
months, not 4 months.
That's even
3
worse.
months. Yes, yes. I am trying to tell you one thing about that. There are hundreds of Indian journalists that visited Bangladesh in the last 3 months. You name any television, you name any Indian media, newspaper has visited Bangladesh. I am really amazed that yes, there is one incident. There can be many more incidents of attacks. But what about the Indian journalists who have been in Bangladesh, touring the district town, even going to the sites where there were attacks? Temple has been vandalized and desecrated.
So my own colleague has been in Bangladesh, and this is from the last 3 months
and
itself.
what's the attack?
We know what's happened. I mean, you can't justify this, sir. What about insulting the national flag? Why are we seeing this kind of selective outrage? Why are you not calling us spade a spade, Mr. Salim?
In front of the Bangladesh High Commission.
How is this justified? There are pictures, images, videos on a daily basis of houses being set on fire, of temples being attacked.
If you, the anchor, speaks everything, then why do you have me on the show?
So I want you to rebut with facts. I want you to respond with facts, not plain rhetoric.
Have a nice day and good night.
Okay. So Mr.
Mr.
Salim Samad doesn't want to respond. He really wants to amp this up, but Gargi, you want to respond because we really need to talk facts here. Let's really not try and get into this no and blame game. Go ahead, Gargi.
Yes. Firstly, obviously Bangladesh should be indebted to India because how India helped it get liberation. Secondly, everything goes from here, from potato, sugar, rice, wheat, you tell it, coal, plastic, iron, even power supply, how much. Instead, they are insulting our flag. We have heard this boy. This boy was first asked from which country, what is his nationality and what is his religion. Then he was assaulted. Nobody helped him. And Mr. Samad, I have a question. The lawyers, 51 lawyers who were representing Chinmay Krishna Prabhu, any country we have given fair trial to even Kasab in this country. Okay, and 51 lawyers who were representing Chinmay Krishna Prabhu, they were attacked. There were houses, their chambers were attacked. One of them is hospitalized and false cases given against them. And what do you call this? What do you call this? Where in any civilized nation this happens? Bangladesh has become a land of the Razakars and jihadists. You have to accept. Am I telling what I'm stating? Are they not facts? Isn't one of the lawyers
and the problem that the Hindu community seems to be putting forth, Gargi, is that this man has been arrested for voicing the concerns of the Hindu community, that he put forth a set of demands seeking the safety and security of Hindu community members is why he's been arrested, and perhaps some others like him as well who are walking on that path. But Ashok Sajjan Haji, a lot is being spoken about the lack of international condemnation as well. How much of a role do you think that can actually play in this overall situation that only seems to be escalating in Bangladesh?
No, absolutely. I think this is very disconcerting that we have not heard any voices criticizing, condemning what is happening in Bangladesh from any of the, either different countries who are always at the forefront of protection of human rights, or even international organizations like the Human Rights Watch or Amnesty International or any of the other NGOs. So I think this is very disconcerting, and I think this is what really, draws them apart, that they are all very, very selective in what they do, meaning all eyes on Rafah, whatever is happening in Gaza, everything sort of, will be focused on that. And here for the last 4 months, there has been all these cases, and as you said very rightly, over 4 months, more than 2,000 cases that have been, brought out by a Bangladesh organization. And it is not a foreign organization, it's a Bangladeshi organization. And these are the cases
but
they
what about
have.
ties of Bangladeshi officials to Jamaat, to, groups like Hafazat-e-Islam? Doesn't that pose a threat to, for example, a country like the United States and its national security?
As far as United States is concerned, they are far away. So they don't see. Meaning, and as it has been said, the United States was always, unhappy with Sheikh Hasina, and under all circumstances they wanted to do away with Sheikh Hasina. This seems to be a case where the United States and China, which have problems between themselves, you know, they are, as far as economic problems and trade problems, trade issues, etc.
Okay.
But on this one issue, they have welcomed the change in Dhaka, in Bangladesh. So here you have China, Pakistan, and the United States all operating on the same, you know, on the same platform. For the first time after decades, you have seen one shipment of goods coming from Pakistan and docking in Chittagong recently.
But you know, Ashok Sajjanarji, with Trump now taking over, his administration taking over, one is still waiting and watching whether or not we will see some change on that front. But that's all the time I have, gentlemen. And Gargi, many thanks for joining us on this very important topic. Like I said, it's very easy to pin the blame on India and Indian media, but hard to really crack down on those radical Islamist mobs. That's all the time we have. Heading into a short break. We'll be right back.